guys, I'm Missy, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. So as you can see, I'm all set up here to work on another declutter, and we're going to be working on my liquid cream and powder bronzers and liquid cream and powder blushes. I have way too many blushes. I really need to try to dwindle it down, but we'll see where I get with this. So I haven't had a chance to count how many I started with, so I will do that and then I will pop up on this screen the amount that I started with. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with my bronzers because I don't have as many of those. So let me move a couple things around here. Alright, so let's start with my cream and liquid type bronzers. Okay. Alright, so that's all on this side. So I have this little Milani Conceal and Perfect in 02 Ginger. I'm not a huge fan of the puffs, and when I do use the puffs, I like ones that aren't super messy. And this is one of those that's kind of messy. I do have the e.l.f. ones too. Actually, let me grab those. Okay, sorry about that. I did grab the couple blushes and things I had from e.l.f. as well. I keep forgetting some of this stuff because it's in a separate drawer. And I also pulled out this that's in November's Spin Wheel series. So, okay. So the Milani Conceal and Perfect Liquid Contour in 02 Ginger. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of these puff applicators, especially the ones that are very leaky. This one's not as bad as some, but I know myself, I'm not going to reach for this one. And I just recently got this because I want to do the whole Shelby Ann makeup routine. And I've noticed that I tend to prefer a more cream than I do a more liquid formula. So I'm going to declutter this one from Milani, but I'm going to keep this one from Milani. And this one is their Milani Cheek Kiss in Spilling Tea. Okay, let's just continue with the puffs. As you can tell, that was a popular type of applicator there for a while. Okay, so I have the Tarte Sculpt Tape in Cool Bronze. I actually really like this one, and I don't mind the applicator on this one. I prefer this type because they have a locking mechanism on them, so I don't have to worry about them seeping out. And I do like the bigger sponges as opposed to the smaller ones. So I'm going to keep this one. The Physicians Formula Butter Glow Bronzer or Color Wand. I got Fair Light. I also have this one from Physicians Formula, which is a dual-ended bronzer and blush. And where I really like both, you know what, let me do a swatch because I'm on the fence with these. Okay, oh, this one has a locking mechanism. Okay, that's not a bad shade. And then this one. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna keep this one because I tend to like a darker bronzer, and this just looks a little too light for me. and I really don't reach for dual-ended stuff. The formula is nice on both of them, but yeah, I'm going to declutter this one. This is their Butter Glow and Go. Sun-Kissed Rose is the shade. I'm going to declutter that one, but I'm going to keep this one, which is the Butter Glow Contour Wand in Fair Light, which is ironic considering that it's deeper than this. Alright, let me just grab a makeup wipe, clean my hand off real quick. Okay, guys, I'm extremely angry right now. I've been talking for 20 minutes straight and was not recording at all, so I had to put things back and go see where my video was actually cut off at. So I'm going to have to go back over some of these items. So I think where we left off in the last part of the video, I think where we left off was I decluttered the Milani little Conceal and Perfect Ginger bronzer and this Physicians Formula Butter Glow and Go in Rose, Sun-Kissed Rose. But I kept this Physicians Formula Butter Glow Contour Wand in Fair Light. Okay, so sticking with the tubes, I'm going to keep the Tarte Sculpt Tape because I love the ones that have the locking mechanism and the bigger puff. So I'm going to keep that one. I'm also going to keep the Revolution Pro Goddess Glow one in light. Same, got a locking mechanism and the bigger puff, which is my preference. Okay, so we have the Essence Baby Got Bronze in Tantastic. Now this one actually has a locking mechanism and the bigger puff. And I just said I prefer that. So I'm going to keep this one. And it's a nice formula. But there is... Where are they? This one here, the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Contour one. First of all, it looks like it's separating for some reason, even though I've only used it once. This is in the shade Light Medium. This is like the Milani one. It does not have a locking mechanism, and it can seep out. And I just don't prefer the smaller sponge. So I'm going to declutter this one. But I'm going to keep the Essence one. And Milani and e.l.f., take note. This is a better applicator and a better component in general. Just saying, in my opinion. So I'm going to keep that one. Liquid bronzers. I like the doe foot, but so one of them is Fair Light. I already know this one is way too light for me, so I'll pass this one along to a family member or friend. That being said, let me say before I continue on, please do not ask me to send you any makeup. I feel very icky sending used makeup to people that I do not know. I give first dibs to my close family members and friends, and if there's something that's new, I will donate it. So just please do not ask. And also, if I declutter something that is like your favorite Holy Grail product, I'm glad that it works for you. Not everybody has the same, preferences or same ways they like to do their makeup. So don't take it to heart. It's not a jab at you if I don't keep the same product that you love. Okay, so I'm going to declutter the light e.l.f. liquid bronzer, and I'm going to also declutter the, what shade is this? Sorry, this one is Fair. This one is Fair Light. Going to declutter that one. But I'm also going to declutter the one that is the shade Light. Just, I feel like it's a little too yellow leaning for me. So I'm not a fan of that. So I'm going to declutter it as well. I am going to keep both my little Essence Baby Got Bronze sticks in the shade Cinnamon Spice. I really like these and they smell so good. They smell like watermelon. Yeah, they're still smelling like watermelon. And I'm going to keep both. These are very, very nice for travel too as well. Nice cream formula. Sticking with bronze sticks, I have the ColourPop bronze stick in, in Moonstone Beach. I love this. This was in a makeup spin wheel roulette series. I still have a lot left, even though I used it like crazy. But I really, really love this. It's very blendable, very easy to apply. Love it, and it's a good shade match for me. I also love the LYS one. I will say that this one is a little easier to draw nose contour with, especially with the point, as opposed to the more rounded tip on the ColourPop. I have the shade Motivate. I will say this one is a lot creamier. So this one, you don't need to apply as much on the skin as you would with like the ColourPop one. They're both creamy formulas, but this one is super creamy, so a little goes a long way. But I'm keeping that one as well. The e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in, I believe it's Tan Lines. Yes, in Tan Lines. This was in a monthly roulette series not that long ago too. And whereas I enjoyed the formula, it's just not as good as some of the cream formulas I prefer now. And honestly, I have to use the special brush that goes with it because it's such a small component. And yeah, I just prefer some other ones in my collection over this, and I just don't really reach for it anymore, so I'm going to pass this along as well. Okay, the Milani Cheek Kiss Spilling Tea. I just got this because I want to do the Shelby Ann makeup routine, and this was on there. I haven't even got to use it yet, so I'm definitely going to keep. I'm also going to keep the Makeup Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer in Light. This is a very nice formula. Only thing I will say is the component is a little hard to open. And I don't even have my press-on nails on right now, and I'm struggling to open it. I'm hoping with time, though, these typically, like, get looser and looser. I may take, like, a sandpaper or something, kind of sand this. Usually that helps. But yeah, I like this formula as well, so I'm going to keep the ColourPop. Oh wait, let me do this one. The Soul Body, which is the sister brand to ColourPop. This is a face and body bronzing balm. I don't use it on my body, just my face. This one smells so nice. Smells like coconut. Yeah, still smells just like it did the day I bought it. Ooh, it's still super creamy. It looks kind of yellow, though. Oh, I'm on the fence with this one. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile for now. Okay. Alright, so the ColourPop ones. These are a, like, putty to powder formula. As you can see, I reached for this one more than the other one. This is the shade I'll Bet. See, this one, like, still looks like it's just a cream, right? But it's a putty to powder formula, and you'll see what I mean here with this one. See, that one still looks like powder because I didn't use it as much. This is the shade Beachin'. Whereas I like both of them. They're very nice. Obviously, I like this shade on me more. I'm going to be honest, I never reach for these when I'm reaching for a bronzer anymore. I always reach for either a stick or the bigger cream components. So I'm going to declutter both of these and pass them along. Okay, and then we'll do this one. This is from Give Beauty. This is currently in the November Roulette Spin Wheel series. I have this shade Toastin'. This is their Pick It Up Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer. So this is the cream and a powder. Now, the only thing I don't like, and I say this about all of Give Beauty's compact products like this is they smell like perfume. Not a huge fan of that, but I love this as like my one and done kind of bronzer palette. Really, really enjoy this shade on myself and really enjoy the powder as well. So I'm definitely keeping this. I don't know if any of this stuff is available anymore. I know they stopped being available in Sephora, I believe, because whatever was left is now on like deep, deep discount. And I never really bought from the actual website, so maybe that one still exists, but I don't think the brand is doing well, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's move on, and I think we're into just my powder bronzers now. So this is from Revolution Beauty, or Makeup Revolution, in the shade Shape. I got this in an advent calendar, and it's just not a good shade for me. I really don't see it when I apply it at all. And let me tell you, it was really hard to try to make this work during the spin wheel series that it was in, because it just would not show up on me. So I'm going to declutter this one. Okay. The Essence Contouring Duo Palette. I very, very rarely reach for this. And the only reason I was keeping it is because it says contour, where I don't really contour. I'm more of a bronzer person, or a bronzer person. And I just feel like it's just sitting here getting wasted in my collection because I just never reach for it. And anytime I do reach for it, it's usually around Halloween when I need a really, really light contour shade. So yeah, I'm gonna declutter this. It's time to let it go. Okay. The Milani powder bronzer in Sunkissed Silky Matte. This one, I think this is another one that's, okay, it's not as hard to open. Have I used this one? Yeah, it looks like I've used it once, probably for my full face of Milani, and I don't remember what I felt about it. Let me see here. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile because I think it might be too light for me, but I'm going to put it in the maybe pile for right now. Okay. Moving on, I'm going to keep my NYX Buttermelt Bronzer. I did previously have a lighter shade, but I gave that one to my sister because it was too light for me, and I picked myself up Butter Biscuit. This one is a better shade for me, and I really like it, so I'm going to keep. Very nice formula. This is from Palace Identity, and this is the shade 01 Warm Gold. I got this in an ice cream beauty box. I mean, look at this packaging. It's so pretty. So much detail to it. And the formula is really nice. Like, even the inside is beautiful. At first, there was like these little like glitter specks in the center. The first use that went away. But I really like this formula. It's very, very nice. And I love the packaging. I think it's so beautiful. Keeping. The ColourPop bronzers in Coconut Beach and Talk to the Palm. So as you can see, I've used Coconut Beach a lot. Talk to the Palm, I haven't used as much, but I've still used a decent amount. Here's the thing. This one is a little too light. This one is a little too deep. So I usually have to use them together. I'm trying to get out of having to do that because it's annoying to have to reach for more than one product. But I do really, really like these. I'm going to put them in the maybe pile for right now. Okay. All right. The Wet n Wild Live, Laugh, Hug from the Care Bears collection. This was just recently in September's spin wheel, or no, October's spin wheel. Love this formula. I will say you do have to kind of swirl your brush in it to get the pigment off, but it is a very nice, like, natural looking bronzer. And I mean, I love the packaging. It's Care Bears. So I'm going to keep the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It in 01 Light. This is way too light for me. I don't know why I thought shade was going to work for me. When I looked online, I guess I just looked at the fact that it said light. But then when I got it in person, I was like, yeah, that's not going to work for me. It is like a glittery one. I mean, it looks more like a highlighter on me. I mean, as you can see. If you're very, very fair, though, I think this would be a good one for you if you like a glowy bronzer. So, decluttering that one. I am going to keep my Essence Sun Club Luminous Bronzing Powder in Sunkissed in California. This is supposed to be a medium tone. I usually tend to lean for light to medium with my products. So this works really, really nice for me. And it is another like glowy bronzer. I feel like this was supposed to be a dupe for another like higher end brand, but I can't remember which. Or no, I think it was supposed to be a dupe for the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I think was what I heard. I don't know about that, but I'm going to keep. I really like this powder, and it's such a big component. The LA Girl Matte Bronzer. So I had the lighter shade, which I do not remember the name of it, and I already decluttered that one because it was too light. But I got this one, which is Lost in Paradise. This one is too deep for me, unfortunately. And like I said, I didn't want to have to keep mixing products. I mean, another one, it's like a huge compact that will last forever. But it's just a little too dark for me, so I'm going to let it go too. All right, let's go back and revisit my maybe piles here. Okay, so let me see how many powders I'm keeping over here. I'm going to keep the Milani powder because I want to try it out some more. I'm going to keep the Soul Body because I like it. The ColourPop ones. You know what? I'm going to let these go. I don't need these in my collection anymore. And I did enjoy them while I had them. But like I said, I'm trying to get out of the mentality of just keeping things because they were part of a whole collection. And I wanted to have the whole collection. I don't like that mentality that is very hoarder-like mentality. So I'm trying to get out of that and know that, hey, if you have to make something work, you have to work a little harder to make it work for you, then why are you keeping it when you have other options that you can just reach for? I mean, I'd much rather reach for one than two to get my shade. So I'm going to let these guys go. Whew, I did not think I was going to do that. Okay, so let's see. I kept 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I kept 17 cream liquid and powder bronzers, and I decluttered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I decluttered 14. I am very, very happy with that. So yeah, very, very pleased with myself. Okay, let's move on to my blushes, and that's probably going to be a lot harder for me. Okay guys, I'm back, and we're going to start with my cream and liquid blushes here. So I already know I'm keeping all my Lunar Beauty liquid blushes. I have Mauve Mommy, which that one is currently in November's Spin Wheel Roulette series. So I have Preciosa Pink. We have Fuego Fuchsia. This is the only one I'm a little bit on the fence with, but I wanna kind of pull it to the forefront and use it some more. The shade Bloom Bella. Also have the shade Rose Reina and Pumpkin Poppy. Love this one in the fall time of year. And I've used these on the lips before too, and it created a nice kind of muted lip. Very, very pretty. So keeping all of those. I am going to declutter this e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand blush in Very Radiant. I just really wasn't a huge fan of this formula. And again, same as the contour, I don't like the applicator. So I'm going to declutter that one. I'm going to declutter this little one from Estate. This is a velvet blush. It's already kind of like settling in here. Ooh, is that already dried out? No, okay. All right, but I just never reached for it, so I'm going to declutter, pass it on to a better home. The Revolution Beauty Hydra Bright Cream Blush in Peach. Again, like the applicator. Oops. Hold on. Okay. Again, like the applicator and the sponge on this one. Really nice. So keeping that one. I have these little mini Tarte blush tapes. I have pink and I have coral. I know I like the pink, so I'm going to keep that one. Let me see about the coral, because it may be too deep for me. Let me see how that shears out. Oh, actually, that's a really nice... Okay, yeah, I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to keep both of those. First, I thought it was going to be too deep, but it actually shears out to more of like a peachy shade. Okay. I'm going to declutter these two liquid blushes. These were in October. I believe it was October's Spin Wheel. They're nice. They're very pigmented, but I have to work pretty quickly with them because they start to dry down pretty quick. And I wasn't a huge fan of like one shade, which is the Coral Flush. No, the Passion Pink was a little too light for me, and the Coral Flush was a little too dark for me, so I had to mix them to kind of get my happy shade. So yeah, don't really want to have to do that, so I'm going to declutter these. The formula's nice, just dries a little quickly. I'm going to keep my Unearthly liquid blush in Nirvana. Keeping. I'm going to keep my Beauty Creations My Little Pony Main Event blush stick in Best Friends. It's this nice pink shade. As you can see, it looks like it would be intimidating, but it's not. It's a nice pink blush. Okay, and it has a bit of a glow to it too. Also going to keep my Essence Baby Got blush in Tickle Me Pink. Oops. Ooh, that was loud. Alright, I'm going to keep both of these. These are from REM Beauty, the original Wicked collection. I would love to get the new Wicked collection, but it is so expensive, guys. Like, I literally added everything I wanted from it the other day, and it come up to like $600 and some dollars. I was like, that's insane. But this one is really nice. Very nice pink shade. You see, that one's a little more vibrant. I love the purple too. I don't really have very many purple blushes in my collection. I love this one more than I love the pink, to be honest with you. But I do have to be careful how heavy-handed I am with it. But keeping both of those, they do stain a bit, so heads up on that. As you can see, I'm really wiping the stain staying behind. Okay, this one. I got this in the Essence Advent Calendar, and this is a pH reacting blush stick. I hate pH reacting stuff. I would have actually preferred it be this like lavender purple over a pH reacting product, so I'm going to declutter that one. I'm also going to declutter this Milani one. First of all, it's kind of broken in the package now for some reason. Well, I thought it was. Okay, that was weird. Alright, so I'm going to declutter this one. This was way too bright of a shade for me. It's the shade Blushing Berry. Just too intense of a shade, so I'm going to declutter. But it is a nice cream formula. I'm also going to declutter this one from Catrice. I got this in an Advent Calendar. This is a cream to powder blush. It doesn't have a shade name. Packaging is a bit bulky, and I'm just not a fan of the shade. So I'm going to declutter that one too. The rest of these, let's see, we have ColourPop Heart's Content. This is a lip and cheek balm. I think these components are a little easier to open than the older ones. Yeah. I'm going to keep, this is Adore You. I'm going to keep, this is Cutesy Wootsy. Ooh, that one is very vibrant though. I'm going to keep for now. Keeping all of my ColourPop blush sticks. I love them. So I will just tell you which ones I have. I have Under Pressure. Again, ColourPop, please go back to this type of packaging. Pretty Thing in 25-8. And these, this Rum Runner, I can't tell you the name of this one because it's rubbed off. That's what I'm talking about, why I don't like this packaging, because it rubs off. As opposed to this, it still stays. And it looks better. So, keeping those. Also keeping Cash In. Keeping Picnic Time. Keeping Coastal Drive. Keeping Cottage Life. Keeping Shell Out. Keeping Skater Boys. Winona Forever, Mallrat, and So Called. You know what? I'm going to look at these Lucky Penny ones. Oh, yep, I like that one. And what about this one? Oh, I like that one too. I like that one. Okay, so Cash In, Got Change, and oops, Spot Me. Keeping all of those. And they still all perform really nicely. They're still very creamy. We have this one. We have this one from the Lilo and Stitch collab. This is another like pH reacting one. It looks like it's blue, but it's really just a pink blush. I'll make an exception for this one because I love the Stitch packaging in the movie. It was so cute. So I'm going to keep that one. Okay, so I know I want to keep my cream blushes from Cosmic Beauty, or Cosmic Brushes. It's got Chills, which is a baby pink. You would think it wouldn't work, but it's actually really nice light pink, so keeping. Heroine, which is a purple. Again, like I said, I don't have very many purple cream blushes in my collection. I think I only have 2, including this one. Very nice, keeping. Dazed. This is a very nice one in the fall. Keeping. And then I haven't even opened these up yet. These are from the 'Tis the Season collection. I have Nutmeg. I'm not sure what happened to the packaging on that one. It's like engraved in it. Ooh, I need to bring that one out. Okay. Keeping. And Mary. Hate the reflective packaging though, I will say. Yeah, definitely keeping. Okay, now let's see. ColourPop liquid blushes. I might swatch them actually. Give me 1 second here to kind of move things out of my way. And my hand's already stained, so let's go ahead and swatch some of these. This is Angel Face. Oh, that's very pretty. I'm going to keep that one. We have Super Shy. Oh, that's a nice shade too. I'm going to keep that one. I love that they lock too. IKTR. Ooh, I don't know about this one. We'll see. Yeah, it's a nice shade too. Oops. And She's Cute. Yeah, I'm going to keep all of these because I like the shades. Okay, let me clean off my little mess here. I am, however, going to declutter all of these e.l.f. putty blushes. I have Luminous and the original. So I have Tahiti. I'm going to declutter. I'll show you what they look like. I just never reach for these. I have This is a luminous one. That one has never been touched. I don't think any of the luminous ones have been touched. Turks and Caicos. Bermuda. This is a luminous one. Never been touched. This is St. Bart's. Goodness. Yep, never been touched. That's what I'm saying. I never retro. I bought them all in a collector's mentality, thinking I need to have them all, and then they just sat there. This is Bora Bora. As you can see, I used the originals, and then I bought the luminous, and then I never used them. Luminous. This is Isla del Sol. This one I think I used. Yeah, this one I used, but it was because it got picked for a spin wheel. So yeah, getting rid of that one. And we have another luminous. This is Barbados. Yep, brand new, never been touched. And Belize, which is another luminous. Yep, brand new, never been touched. Alright, so I'm going to declutter all of those. Alright, so now let's move on to some ColourPop Super Shock Cheeks and my Tarte powder blushes. Okay, so we have a matte. This is Cruel Intentions. I've used this a couple times. It's a pretty blush, but I just don't reach for it anymore, so I'm going to declutter. I am also going to declutter the Brute Flute one. This is more of a shimmery one. Very pretty, but don't reach for. So declutter. This is Cheerio. Okay, first I thought I had two of those, but this is Cheerio. This one's a little too deep for me. But still very pretty. Gonna declutter. We have Chamomile or Chamomile, depending on how you pronounce it. That one's already starting to crack. Declutter. It's another matte formula. This one is another matte. This is Doozy. Now, Doozy I reached for a decent amount in the springtime because this is very pretty, like peachy tone, but I never reach for it anymore, so I'm gonna declutter. And we have Marguerite. And this one's very, very vibrant, but I'm gonna declutter that one. I am, however, going to keep my Tarte blushes. This is Exposed. I reach for the Tarte blushes when I want a muted blush, at least the older formula. Some of these newer ones are more pigmented. Captivating. Delight. Charmed. And these are the newer ones from last year. This is Chic or Chic. See, more vibrant. Polished. Luxury. Indulgence. Masterpiece. Poise. And Timeless. Okay. All right, now let's move on to the last bit of blushes here. So let's move on to the last bit of blushes here. These are my powder blushes. So I'm going to keep my Melt Bailey Sarian Please powder blush. Very pretty. I'm going to declutter this Catrice Air Blush Glow in Peach Passion. I don't really feel like this really had much pigment, to be honest with you. It has a like vanilla-y scent to it, which is a little overwhelming, but I'm going to declutter this one. Just didn't wow me. I'm going to keep this one from Palace Identity. This is their Blossom Blush in the shade HO2 Hibiscus. Again, beautiful packaging. And beautiful embossing as well. And this has like some glowy particles to it. Definitely keeping. I'm going to declutter this Ofra Candy Apple Blush. It's okay. It's just not my favorite. So I'm going to declutter. I am going to keep my NYX Buttermelt Blush in Butter Together. I would like some more of these in different shades because I do like the formula. Very nice. Gonna keep my Wet n Wild Care Bears Do What You Love blush. Just very, very pretty. And let's pull the Glam Light ones here. I'm definitely keeping my Strawberry Shortcake blush. This is a dupe for the Dior blush. Love it. Keeping. I'm gonna keep the Ghost Face powder blush. This is a like straight up red blush. Don't have much of that in my collection, so I'm gonna keep. This was just recently in a Spin Wheel series, and if you watch my full face of Milani, you will know I did not like this because when I first used it, it was powder kick up everywhere. It got all over my desk. The more I used it, the more it does not do that. And it is a very, very pretty everyday blush, but it's a little too muted for what I like. So I'm going to declutter it. But it is a very nice blush. Okay, I think the rest are ColourPop. Yeah, so let's see. We have Sorrento. Keeping. We have Rustica. Keeping. Oh no, I forgot about my Singe Beauty ones here. Keeping all my Singe Beauty. I love them. Persistent Persimmon. These are not a glowy blush, but they're also not a matte blush. They're like a satiny, silky finish. Love them. Risky Raisin. This one is a little deep, but I can still make it work for me. Timid Tomato, the muted red, and Riveting Rhubarb. Okay, now the rest are all ColourPop. So we have Foxy. Again, I hate this packaging, this clamshell packaging, but keeping. We have Out of Sight. Also keeping. We have Shook to the Coral. This one is a little broken, the clasp, but I'm going to keep. Okay, and let's see. We have Take the Cake. Keeping. Truffle Shuffle. Keeping. Catch My Vibe. Keeping. Coast to Coast. Keeping. Shortcake. Keeping. seed you later. Oof, that one's very vibrant. I'm going to keep Petal Pusher, keeping Just My Pluck, keeping Perk Up, keeping Fresh and Peachy, keeping Frisky Business, keeping another orchid one, Potted. Ooh, that is so pretty. Keeping, now these two. We have Trippin' and Jet Set. One of them is a lot deeper than the other. I think it's Trippin'. Yeah, Trippin'. I'm going to let both of these go because I don't really ever reach for these. I just reach for the ones that I kept. And I never reach for these because I feel like I can't really make them work as a blush for me per se. So I'm going to declutter these two. And I already know I'm going to keep all of my heart-shaped color pop blushes. So let me tally up how much I kept versus how much I decluttered. I can already tell I kept more than I decluttered, which doesn't surprise me because I love my blush collection. So let me go ahead and count that up and I'll come back with the numbers. All right, so I started with a total of 118. I kept 91 and I decluttered 27. I need to do better, but I am very happy with how much I did declutter because I didn't think that I was going to declutter that many. So I am very happy that I did almost reach almost 30 out of my collection. So I think that's a good amount, but I definitely need to start maybe working on some blush combo videos or something to help me dwindle down more of my preference of what I like and don't like. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little declutter video. There'll be more to come. I still got to work on my highlighters and all that. So I really hope you guys enjoy this series. Again, I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year. As of today, I'm at 392, I believe it is. So December is quickly approaching, and you know, I'm really hoping to reach 500 before then. I'm getting pretty close to the 400 mark, so I'm very appreciative of you guys. But if you haven't subscribed yet and you enjoy this type of content, tutorials, lip combos, monthly makeup series, all that good stuff, please just take a minute and like and subscribe down below. It really helps me out and I would appreciate it. Until next time, guys. Bye.